Today's learning objective is to divide mentally using models in math with long division. Our first division problem that we'll be looking at today is 135 divided by 5. The best way to look at this is by using base 10 blocks. This is 100. There are 3 sets of 10 representing the 30 and 5 ones. 100 is way too big to divide equally into 5 parts, so we're going to take it into a smaller setting. These are the same base 10 blocks, but instead of the 100 model that I showed you before, we have now taken that 100 model, and the same thing, we have divided it into 10 equal parts. With these 10 parts, we can now look at this and say, we don't have 103 tens, we have 13 groups of 10. We then can ask ourselves, how many groups of 5 can we make out of the 13? 13 divided by 5 is, without going over, 2. So what we can do is we can take our groups, make them into groups of 2. And when we make them into groups of 2, we see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 2 with 1 group left over. What do we do with this 1 group left over? My advice would be break this unit into smaller parts as well and make these 10. But instead of dragging 10 blocks over, I'm going to make this easier on myself and just write 10. So now we can take the 5 blocks that we had already representing 5 ones and add that to the 10 that we have left over here. 10 plus 5 is 15. We now have 15 ones left over. We go back to our original divisor of 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Each group will now get 3 ones to add to their total. Each group would then receive a total of, what would your quotient end up being? Each group would receive $23. Let's try one more problem to see if you've got it. This time, let's divide 124 divided by 4. Using the base 10 model, we have 100, we have 2 tens, and we have 4 ones. Okay, looking at this model, this number is fairly large to divide, this 100, so we need to take this 100 and break it into smaller parts. So let's take that 100 and let's put 10 down here. 3, 4, 5, okay, so now I have my 10 base 10 model representing the 100. We're taking the 100, we're going to break it into smaller parts. These are our smaller parts. We now go back up to the original division problem, the dividend of 124. We no longer have 100, we actually have 12 groups of 10. So we go back to our divisor of 4. How many times does 4 go into 12? The answer is 3. So what we would do is we would take this and we would divide our groups of 10 into 3s. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 2. Now when we do this, we can see we don't have any base 10 models left over. They divided in there great. So we go back over to our ones. We have 4 ones left over, representing the ones column right here, the 4 ones representing 4 ones right there in our problem. We go back to the divisor of 4. 4 goes into 4 one time, so each group would receive 1 extra cube to receive a total of 1, 2, 3, 31. The quotient to this division problem, 124, is 31.